Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. In this lesson, we will revise our syllabus of assessment 2, English Book 6. We will first start with step by step English Grammar Book 6. Lesson number 4, that is adjectives. First, we will revise what is an adjective. Adjective is a word that tells the quality of a noun or a pronoun. Look at this sentence. Robert is a tall boy. In this sentence, Robert is noun, is auxiliary verb, a article, tall adjective, and boy is a noun. So tall boy, tall is adjective that is telling about the quality of the boy. That boy is tall. Adjective always comes before a noun. Then we will talk about types of adjectives. First is equative, then comparative and superlative. Equative adjective shows that one noun is equal to other noun. As tall as. This is example of equative adjective. We can say Robert is as tall as Sami. So Robert and Sami are equal in length. Both are tall, equally tall. This is equative adjective. Comparative adjective tells the comparison between two nouns. The comparative adjective is formed normally by adding er to the normal adjective. But in many cases, when there is dissyllabic word, we use more with the adjective, like more beautiful. Then comes superlative adjective. Superlative adjective is formed by adding est to monosyllabic words. But when there is a disyllabic or having more than one syllable, we use most with the adjective. For example, tall is monosyllabic. So the superlative adjective for tall is the tallest. Whereas the adjective beautiful has more than one syllable. There are 3 syllables in beautiful, so we use most before adjective beautiful to make it superlative adjective. So when there is an adjective with er or more, that is comparative. When there is an adjective with est or the most, that is superlative adjective. And one more thing about superlative adjective, that we always add the before superlative adjective. The tallest, the most beautiful. Look at the sentences. Our presentation was as good as theirs. This is example of equative adjective, as good as. His walk is slower than a snail. Slower, er. Comparative adjective, and after comparative adjective we add than, than, slower than, taller than. The month of January has as many days as the month of the May. As many days as suggests that this is equative adjective. So these are the concepts from lesson number 4. Let's move to lesson number 5, that is phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs is a set of 2 words. One is a verb that is followed by a preposition. Turn off. Turn is a verb and off is a preposition. Turn verb followed by preposition off. Turned off is a phrasal verb. Look softer is a phrasal verb. I hope it is not difficult for you to identify phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs give different meaning than the actual word. Like look softer is not looking after someone, but it means to take care of someone. Looks after means to take care of someone. In this way, phrasal verbs give different meaning. Another phrasal verb is comes up. Come up. So come is the action of coming and up is the direction, upward direction. But comes up mean having something. Comes up mean having, always have something. These are some sentences. Find the phrasal verbs in these sentences. Fill up petrol in your bike. So fill up. Fill is verb, up is preposition, fill up is phrasal verb. Harry comes up with great ideas. Comes up, verb followed by preposition, is phrasal verb. She turned off all the lights. Turned off is phrasal verb. He was advised to give up smoking. Give up is phrasal verb. Give up means leave something. War broke out between two countries. Broke out means started. Revise all the exercises of lesson number 5. Now let's move to lesson number 6, that is modals. The auxiliary verbs will, can, have and many more like should, etcs are called modals. These auxiliary verbs used with other words show the ability to do something, permission of doing something or possibility of some happening. These are called modals. Like in sentence, I can swim. Can shows the ability of doing something. That I can swim. I'm able to swim. We should be careful. This is necessity. Will your ideas work? Will shows possibility. I can play piano very well. Can is again showing ability. We must not go to school without proper uniform. Obligation. This shows necessity that we must wear proper uniform. These modals perform different functions. Revise all the exercises. Then we will move to Oxford Progressive English. Unit number 2. We will start with page number 31, GREENFORCE. A website advertisement about GREENFORCE. In this book, we will revise these sections that are necessary, that are important through exams point of view. From an exams point of view, we have to revise vocabulary, question answers, and some grammatical concepts and new concepts. We have done the reading thoroughly and we have discussed all the question answers. We will just revise them once. Starting with vocabulary section at page number 31, vocabulary exercise. This exercise you are asked to match the words with their meanings. But in your paper, in your exams, you will not be asked to match the words to their meanings. You will be asked to write meanings of the words. So you have to learn the meanings of these words. Fragile means delicate, diversity, variety, crucial, critical, fertile, rich, pollution, contamination, abundant, plentiful, impacts, effects. Regenerate means grow back again. Alleviating means making easier. Sustainable, able to be kept going. Benevolent, kindly, appreciate, understand. So learn these word meanings. We will move to our next section, that is reading for understanding. Question answer sections at page number 32, that are question answers about GREENFORCE. What do the research teams of GREENFORCE do worldwide? We have read that they preserve endangered wildlife and fragile habitats worldwide. I hope you have already written these question answers in your notebooks and you have also learned them. Here again you are given questions and answers to make it easier for you to revise them. Question number 2. Why are coral reefs known as rainforests of the sea? Because upon coral reefs there live a massive diversity of species. So they are home to a massive diversity of species. What 3 functions do the coral reefs fulfill apart from offering divers a beautiful underwater garden? 3 functions of coral reef. 1. They protect fragile coastlines. 2. They provide a nursery ground for young fish. 3. They are an abundant food source for coastal communities. Question number 4. How are human activities threatening the coral reefs? Overfishing, blasting, and pollution are threats to coral reefs. Overfishing, blasting, and pollution, these are the human activities. Question number 5. How do coral reefs respond to conservation measures? We have read they respond well to conservation measures. They grow back again effectively. Question number 6. How can GREENFORCE projects help with this conservation? To save coral reefs, GREENFORCE teams identify the areas requiring protection. Then they monitor recovery rates at those areas, and they also educate the coastal communities to protect coral reefs. Then we will move to our next section, comparative and superlative adjectives, at page number 33. Our grammar section, we have just revised the adjectives, comparatives and superlatives. We will revise them again here. When the adjective is monosyllabic, adjective, great. Monosyllabic, having one vowel sound, good. Good has one vowel sound, that is oo. So one vowel sound, the words which have one vowel sound is monosyllabic. For monosyllabic words, when we make comparative adjective of monosyllabic adjective, we add er. And when we make superlative adjective, we add est. For good, comparative adjective is better. Superlative adjective is best. For great, comparative adjective is greater and superlative is greatest. We add er or est to monosyllabic adjectives. When we are dealing with disyllabic or the words or the adjectives that have more than one syllable, we use more or most with the adjective to make it comparative or superlative adjective. For example, fertile. This adjective has two syllables, fertile, two vowel sounds. So we add more before the disyllabic word to make it comparative adjective, more fertile. To make it superlative adjective, most fertile, we add most. Concept is homonyms, page number 36. Homonyms are the words that have same spellings, same pronunciation, but their meanings and origin is different. Grave and grave. Both grave has same spelling, Grave. Same pronunciation, grave, but their meanings are different. One grave is adjective, that means very serious. This is a grave problem. This is a very serious problem. The other grave is noun. That means the place of burial of a Muslim. Graveyard, grave. One more example is can. Can is modal auxiliary that shows ability. I can swim. The other can is noun, a container. This is a can of fish. So these words are homonyms. We have many other examples of homonyms. You can recall them. Next section is vocabulary at page number 42. The tide rises, the tide falls. To remind you, in your paper you will not be asked to match the words to their meanings. You will be asked to write meanings of the words. So learn these word meanings. Twilight. It means the time between light and darkness. Twilight. Stalls. Stalls means stables. Hastens. Hastens mean hurries. Neigh. It is a noise which horses make. Shore. Beach. Seashore. Efface means wipe away. Learn these word meanings. Then move to next section, reading for details. School Days, unit number 3, page number is 50. Question number 1. Why did the writer describe Mr. Gradgrind as a cannon? He described Mr. Gradgrind as a cannon because Mr. Gradgrind was loaded with facts like a cannon and he was ready to give his knowledge to his students. Question number 2. Mr. Gradgrind calls Sissy girl number 20. What does this tell you about his ideas about education? He believes that education is knowledge of useful facts. Question number 3. What do you think Mr. Gradgrind thinks of Sissy's father's profession? He didn't seem to believe her. How do Bitzer and Sissy differ in appearance? Sissy is dark-haired and dark-eyed, while Bitzer is light-eyed and light-haired. Question number 5. How do the responses of Sissy and Bitzer to Mr. Gradgrind's question differ? Their responses do differ. Sissy used her emotions to answer, but Bitzer answered with facts. Then to next section, reading for understanding, page number 58. That is play script Oliver Twist. Question number 1. Describe life in the poor house for the boys. Which aspect would you find most unpleasant? Give your reasons. Life is miserable at poor house as the boys don't have enough to eat. I dislike the negative attitude toward poor people because negative attitude grows hatred. Question number 2. How do Henry and Ben exploit Oliver? They let him try to do things on his own without their help. Question number 3. What differences do you see between Ben and Henry? Ben is compromising whereas Henry has wicked nature. How do the gentleman and Oliver view one another? Oliver is frightened of them and the gentlemen think Oliver is a fool. Explain the reaction to Oliver's request. Question number 5. Answer. They all were first surprised, then angry at him. We will move to our next story, Crows Know. Question answers, reading for details at page number 60. Question number 1. How did the children in the playground react to the dead crow? They felt curiously silent at first and then ignored it and went to play. Question number 2. Yasmin spoke in a small voice. What does this tell you about her? Answer is, it tells that she was frightened. Number 3. How do you know that death of Yasmin's grandmother was an important event in her life? Answer is, because she remembered every single detail of that incident. Question number 4. Why did Yasmin not want other children to see that she was upset about the dead crow? Answer is, because she was afraid that other children will mock her for mourning an ugly crow. Question number 5. How does Yasmin stand out as different from other children? Answer. Other children were carefree, but Yasmin was kind, even toward a dead crow. This was all from our book Oxford Progressive English. Then we will move to a third section, that is creative writing, and the topic is my favorite teacher. Creative writing is by yourself, but I have also given you a sample essay to make it easy for you to write an essay about your favorite teacher. Let us read it. I study in allied school. All my teachers are qualified and hardworking. This is starting line, introduction. But my favorite teacher is... Here you can write the name of your favorite teacher. She is a master in... You can write the name of her subject. She teaches us the subject. She has a good command on her subject. She delivers very interesting lectures. She is very kind to her students. She never punishes us. Instead, she helps in overcoming our failure. She praises the work done by us. She listens to our problems with patience and helps us in solving them. She is also very regular and punctual. She is never late to her class. She offers the prayers regularly. She loves her country and country fellows. She is my ideal teacher. May Allah give her a success in every field of life. In the essay about your favorite teacher, when you're writing about someone who is your ideal or favorite, you have to add as many good points as you can, as many adjectives for him as you can. So we have added the adjectives: she is kind, she is patient, regular, punctual, and she is patriotic and a good Muslim. So in this way you can write your own essay. This was all from the revision of assessment 2. Best of luck for your exams. Allah Hafiz.